In today's video, I could be reviewing your dropshipping store. So what I'm doing is I'm taking 5 random people's stores and I'm just going to be reviewing them and critiquing them. I did mention this in one of my last videos, and that's how you could enter this store giveaway. Now, if you want me to do this again on my channel, or maybe twice a month, once a month, let me know in the comment section below, and I could be reviewing your store next. But if you let me know in the comment section if you want me to do this more often, then at least I know to keep doing these on the channel, because I only want to bring what you guys want to see on the channel. Now, if you've got any other video recommendations, also let me know in the comment section below. Just tell me what you want to see. I would really appreciate it, guys. Also, if your store doesn't come up on today's video, don't worry, you're still going to want to watch this till the end, because you never know, the store that I'm critiquing could be very similar to yours, and if it is, then you can implement what I'm saying to change or add. So either way, if you don't come up in the actual review, store review, like I said, you're going to take value from this video anyway, because I'm going to be showing you things that I look for, I critique, I add, and that I just basically look for when looking at people's stores. So it's definitely a valuable video regardless if you come up or not. Now, like I said, the winner of the 2K subs giveaway will be here. So if you're the winner, message me through Instagram or Facebook, and we will get that giveaway sorted, and we'll get the call arranged, and we'll get the theme sent over to you. Also, I just want to say a massive shout out to everybody that's been supporting the channel. It really does mean a lot to me. So let's dive straight into the content. So this is the first store on today's list. It's called 3 Blind Cats. Now, what I'll also be critiquing is your brand name and your brand logo, because these are things that complement your actual store. So they do need critiquing also. So from the name, you can tell it's a cat niche. Now, 3 Blind Cats is a very good name. It's very catchy. It's a name that will stay in your head, especially when you're visiting the site. 3 Blind Cats, you kind of remember it. As long as people get a good experience on your website, they're going to definitely remember your name. So it's a very good name you've chosen. You've also got the domain name that matches it, which is always great. Always try and get a domain name that matches the exact same brand name, and always get it in the .com extension. Your logo is also very good. It's also very reminiscent of the actual brand name. And the only thing that I'd say about your logo is it looks a little bit pixelated and a little bit noisy in terms of quality. So I think maybe try and work on the quality of the logo. It's not a biggie, I've seen worse, but I would try and get that a little bit more sharper, and maybe by decreasing the image size might help. But that's one of the issues that I've seen. It's nothing crazy, but it's definitely something I'd work on. Now, a massive hands off to this person as well. They've got their favicon added here. Now, a favicon is that little icon you can see in the top left of the tab. Favicons are very important, especially when you want to look like a proper brand. You want to look a little bit more authentic. You actually want to look like a trustworthy brand. You can see this one here doesn't have any favicon, and you can see the difference in terms of professionalism. It's definitely something that you need, and customers don't notice it, but they definitely notice it if you don't have it. So definitely need to get that added if you haven't already added your favicon. Adding a favicon is super easy. You can Google how to add a favicon to Shopify. It tells you, it's in the theme settings. It's super easy. But let's move on to the actual website itself. So straight away, I like the way you got 3 colors: orange, white, and black. I always recommend 3 colors: white, black, and then the accent of your logo, which is what they've done. But the only thing that I would say is you've got a little bit too much orange on the store. It looks a little bit too orangey in my opinion. I think you should change this to maybe black instead of orange, and then keep the rest how it is. And then also this checkout button here needs to be changed, because it just blends in with the actual banner, and the checkout button should really pop out to tell customers where to go when they need to buy their products. So you need to change the color of that. Also, this trust badge in the middle here looks really bad. Don't recommend trust badges, especially not on a homepage like this. It just looks so bad. It just looks unprofessional. Actually makes your store look like it's a scam. So get rid of that ASAP. If you're going to put trust badges anywhere, put them on your product page, and use the trust badges that show fast shipping, free returns. Those kind of trust badges are great. These checkout trust badges and SSL trust badges are just not worth it. They're just not needed. People can find out if you've got an SSL or not, so you don't need to have it on there. Again, that's what I just said from the start. And then you can see these titles here. It's fine with it being orange, but maybe make the images darker just so people can read the text easier. Also, what I'm seeing is loads of these pop-ups. Now, these pop-ups, please just don't get so many pop-ups. Within a niche store, you can get away with having a few pop-ups, but not all the time. Every 2 seconds, try and get around 1 or 2 pop-ups maximum. But you can see here they just keep popping up, and it's pissing me off. Not trying to be offensive, but again, it just pisses me off when I see loads of pop-ups, especially when you're a consumer. It's just like, get rid of it. It's annoying me, especially those little ones in the corner, just irrelevant. So yeah, like I said, darken the background images just so the text is easier to read, because you can see here the text is actually really hard to read. So if you darken the image, you can see when I highlight it, the image will cross hatch into that kind of look. You can see it goes like a white color when I hover over it. do that, but make it black instead, a darker black, and then just darken the image and keep it so it's darkened all the time, not just when you just hover over it. And also you can see these images here explain what type of section the website is. So for example, feeding, so that takes them to the feeding part of the website. Now I think because you're using cats for every image, maybe use the images correlated with the title. So for example, here you got feeding, so make the image of a cat that's eating food, just so, because people identify things not just by text, pardon me, but also by imagery as well. Apart from that, everything else looks quite good. Yeah, so everything looks quite good. But before we move on and carry on, what we're going to do is we're going to run this website through a speed test with GT metrics, which I'll be doing on every single website, as website speed is super important. So we'll let that do its testing in the background, and we'll move on to critiquing the website. So everything else looks fine. The only other thing that I don't like is I'm glad that you've got reviews on your website and you're trying to do them legit. Now, looking at your store, you're trying to get reviews done legitly, because all of these products haven't got any reviews on them, which means you're doing them when customers actually give real feedback, which is great. I really do appreciate you doing that. It's a lot more ethical. But what I would say is, if you can try and put fake reviews on some of these products, now I'm not saying give them all 5 stars, that's the worst thing people can do. Don't always give your products 5-star reviews. Maybe give one product a 5-star review, another one a 4.5, then a 4. Don't try and give your products anything lower than a 4-star review, but don't always spam your products with 5-star reviews. Then that just looks so what's the word I'm trying to look for? But you get what I'm trying to say. It looks like you're just trying to promote your own store by faking it. But I know you're trying to do it ethically and do it real and give real reviews on here. But maybe do fake reviews on all of them to start with, and then once you get products that people give real reviews for, then replace them with the fake ones. Just because when there's no reviews on all the products, it can sometimes just look a little bit like, why has nobody bought them? And like I said, don't give them all 5-star reviews. Maybe give one 4, the other one 4.5, the other one 5. But don't just spam 5-star reviews. Also, you can see here that you've got a bit of jewelry on your store. Now, if you're doing a cat niche, don't recommend putting jewelry into it either. I think you're overstepping the niche there, which I don't recommend. Your footer looks okay. You need to add FAQ on here, tracking shipping on here, so people can track their orders through here. And you need to add an about us on here. Now, this is crazy, guys. If you don't have an about us page on your store and Facebook flag your website for a human review. So what normally happens is bots will review store normally, and then if bots pick anything up that's quite bad, then they will then request for a human to then go out there and review it. And if a human reviews your store and doesn't have an about us page, they will shut your store down 9 times out of 10. So definitely recommend you add an about us page on every single site you've got. To anybody that's listening to this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at how your product page looks. So let's have a look at one of your products. So let this load. So your product page looks all right. You got these cookies, which is fine. You should always have cookies displayed on your website. But yeah, your product page looks all right. Just looks a little bit bland. I like the way you got the drop down menus here. That looks a lot more professional. Sometimes when you've got like loads of text, descriptions, product reviews, shipping returns all on the site already done, it can sometimes look too bad. Like it's not easy to scan. Now website needs to be easy to scan, easy to read, easy for people to navigate. So having these drop down menus definitely make it good, in my opinion. Now normally what I do is I normally have the description like this, and then I'll leave these two with drop down menus. I won't have all of them with a drop down menu, because I think having a description normally is fine, and then having the rest drop down menus, that's what I normally do personally. I would get rid of this here. This just looks really bad. Don't like it. Looks unprofessional. Get rid of it, in my opinion, especially when you're trying to do a niche store. And then you need to add something like quantity breaks to your website, or some form of upselling. Now I've had a look at your website and I've not seen anything where you're trying to upsell people. You can see here I've added some to the cart. I did this before the video just because this video will be super long if I do everything. I saw you've not got any upsells in the cart either. Now average order value is everything, guys, so you need to try and use things like quantity breaks or warranty upsells. I'll leave a video here on how to do warranty upsells. It's what I use on pretty much every store, and I get a lot of money from just doing it. So I recommend you go and check that out. I will be doing more videos on the channel about upselling, so definitely turn post notifications on. But apart from that, everything else looks quite good. I would say the descriptions are okay. I wouldn't say they're amazing. They're quite plain. I think you could add to them, in my opinion. And always try and, if you can add a video to your store as well. Adding videos to your product page can change the conversion rate drastically, trust me. So if anybody's watching this and you've not got videos on your product page, please add them to your product page. Now I don't recommend using the same video as your video ad if you're using Facebook ads. Try and use a different video, but trust me, it will increase your conversion dramatically. Something else that I like to do with my stores is I like to add a guarantee somewhere on the description somewhere. So I'd put something like live 24 chat or 24-hour chat all the time or something like that, just to try and make the customers feel a little bit more confident with my site. So I like to add like a guarantee, saying guaranteed 24-hour chat. I don't say live chat because it's not live, it's just a chat. So now let's critique the store in mobile mode. So let's turn this into a mobile mode. If you don't know how to already do this, because I know a lot of people might ask, what you do is you need to use Google Chrome, go to more tools, and then go to developer tools, and then you can just change it here with this icon here to the iPhone mode. You can change it to how it looks. I'm using the iPhone X as the phone. But you can see here straight away at the top, you've got your logo with a white background, which makes me feel like you're using a JPEG file. Now, I always think making sure, I don't like it when there's like a background like this on a logo. It just looks odd. I think it would look a lot better with just a transparent background, the way it looked like on desktop, and putting it so it doesn't look like there's a square behind it. So maybe so what I'll do is I'll make this a transparent file and make it so it's just the logo, and then change this border color from orange to either black or white so it stands out the logo. The logo should always stand out, but not like this. This just looks not good. Also, I can see you using a slideshow here. We call these a slideshow, a strip slideshow. Now, the bad thing about a slideshow is it will slow your website down dramatically, especially when it goes over 2 images. You've got 4 images, so you can see there's 4 circles to say you've got 4 slideshows. Anything over 2 will drastically decrease it as well, and we'll see that in the website performance tool over here. You'll see. Also, I don't like the way you got these categories on the home page here. You should always just put your categories in the main menu here. Everybody knows on mobile that's the main menu. Never put them there. They just look horrible in my opinion. Again, with the images, just make sure that you darken the images, and everything else looks quite good on mobile, to be fair. And now this is another thing that I don't like. I don't like the way it's not even. It just looks a bit weird in my opinion. Let's have a look at how your pages look like on mobile as well, because they'll all look different. On mobile, it looks better in my opinion. It's not as bland, but like I said, just keep the descriptions open and keep the rest on drop down. And then, like I said, just add those things that I mentioned about adding. Now let's take a look at your website performance. So you can see here your website performance is at 13 seconds. It's 13.6 seconds, which is really, really, really bad. Now, if your website speed should be between 2 seconds and 4 seconds. Now, if it's any longer than that, you're going to get people dropping off when they click your link because they want it to load faster. So your drop off is going to be huge. So make sure that your website's between 2 and 4 seconds. I will leave a video right here on how to get your website speed between 2 and 4 seconds. Super, super important. You're going to waste money on ads if your website speed doesn't load within 2 and 4 seconds. So that's the first website done. Let's move on to website number 2. Okay, so this is website number 2. Now, I'm guessing you've named the brand after the products. The product's actually called this. And you've called your store the same name, and the same with the URL. Now, what we call this is branding one product stores. Now, this is becoming very big. Me and some of the other bigger guys have been doing this for a while now. It's more risky, so I'm just explaining what this person's done with their store, because some people might be thinking, why is he doing it? Private label store. It's probably not a private label store. It's what we call one branding, one product stores. So what you do is you pick the product that you want to do for your one product store, and then you name your one product store after that product. So for example, what he's done. And what it does is it just makes people that visit the store, make them think that you're the person that made the product. So it makes them think, okay, it's not a dropshipping store, or it makes them think that it's a more trustworthy, if that makes sense. So that's what they call it one. Now, the risk factor to this is if the product doesn't work and they need to test another product, they're going to have to make a new logo, which takes time or costs more money. They're going to have to buy a new domain name. So it can sometimes get expensive, and it can sometimes take a lot of time. So it's just a little bit of a higher risk, but if you have found a good product, then the rewards are a lot higher, just because people will trust your store a lot more. So I can see here it's a one product store. It's a bit messy, and that's what I'm going to talk about now. I've just put your store through the GT metric website speed test. We'll get back to that at the end of this store review. So I can see here you got a catalog. Now, in my opinion, this isn't necessary, because it's a one-page store anyway, so you don't need a catalog page. It's just an unnecessary page that's going to slow your store down and also confuse customers. So get rid of the catalog page. Also, there's nothing catchy here. It's very bland. It's white and black, which is fine. White and black's clean. Well, should we say off-white, it's clean. But there's nothing that pops out here. There's nothing that really stands out in terms of colors. So maybe try and make one of the colors like a blue, a green, something that stands out and grabs people's attention, but not over the top. because at the moment it's just black and white, and sometimes that can just be a little bit too neutral. So I think you should definitely add some form of coloring, like I said. And then there's these gaps here that I don't like. Gaps are the worst, because again, it's what we call scanning pages, and you cannot scan a page properly if there's gaps. It can really, some people might look and not think that there's even more left, so they might think that this is where it stops. So definitely make a page scannable. You've only got 2 images on here. I think you need to add more. I always say to people, at least you want 3 images on your site. Anything less than that, customers might think, you know what, why is there not many images? I want to know what I'm buying. It's the same when you buy something online. If there's not many images, then you're thinking, okay, how do I know what it definitely looks like? So definitely add more images. I can see here you've got an extra 2 images. So, well, this is the extra image here, but it's not a great image, and it's quite a blurry image. But what I'm trying to say, there's just loads of gaps. You can see just gaps after gaps, and there's nothing that stands out. Again, we've got these gaps. We've got what we call inconsistent sizes. So these images are different sizes. It just doesn't look professional. When you go to a proper branded store that's maybe selling one product, it's all consistent in terms of sizing, in terms of text, in terms of layout. But this store, it's just not clean. It's just, like I said, a blank canvas here. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, whoever store this is, just clean it up. This product could be a winning product, but the way it's looking at the moment is just a bit messy. And if you clean it up, I can promise you the conversions will increase. And again, you got these testimonials, which is fine. With testimonials, make sure that they, especially when you're using Luke's reviews or Ali reviews, make sure that the punctuality is perfect, make sure the spelling's right, and make sure that it sounds legit and it doesn't sound like a fake review. I can see here you're missing quite a lot of pages. You're missing your terms and conditions, your shipping policy, your privacy policy, your about us page, your FAQ, and your tracking. So you're missing quite a lot of pages there you need to add, and that's like right now. You need those pages, and you just have to have them, so make sure you add them straight away. Really, 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 really important. But apart from that, it's just a bit boring. There's not much to it. You just need to add to it. Again, you've got no upsells here, you've got no quantity breaks, you've got nothing. It's just a blank canvas. It literally looks like you've got a canvas and you've just put loads of random spots around it, and it just doesn't look clean. It just looks messy. So really do fix that, fix it and make it look good. Now let me show you the one product store theme that I recommend if you're doing one product stores, and I'll show you the theme, and you'll know from when I show you the theme the difference in terms of quality and standard. So let me get that one product store theme that I recommend just to show you, just so you know, the person that's watching this or anyone else that's doing one product stores, how your theme should look in terms of professionalism. So this is the one product store theme that I use and some of my other students are using. I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can get this theme. It's so good. So this is like the difference in terms of standard. So this is the one that we were looking at just a minute ago in terms of quality of the one product store. You can see it's very messy and just nothing to it. Now this is the one that I'm using. You can guys see the difference in terms of quality. So you can see straight away the professionalism. Now this looks like a proper one branded product store look. You can see how much professional it looks. It just looks really clean and simple. And like I said, it just looks like a proper one product store in terms of branding. So that's what I recommend you do. I'm not going to talk more about your website as there's a lot to be fixed in terms of the way it looks. Let's move on to the next website. But before we move on, let's have a look at your website speed. So your website speed was 11.1 seconds. So I'd recommend you go watch the video I made about how to decrease your website speed, because that's way too high. We're going to move on to website. So this is website number 3, and it's called Bare Bamboos, I think. Yeah. So I'm guessing it's a bamboo niche store. Now the bamboo products back last year, 2017, were doing really well. They were winning products. There's quite a lot of the winning products in the bamboo niche. And straight away, what I'm going to say is your strip is way too big. Now your strip is what you can see at the start of the website. So this is what the strip is. So whatever you can see at the start of the website in terms of imagery, we call this the strip, and the strip is way too big. The strip should never be as high as where you got the text. It should just be around about here. Now the reason why your strip shouldn't be so big is because you've got to remember, you've got to catch people's attention within 2 and 7 seconds. Now I normally say it's around 2 and 5 seconds. So if somebody comes straight to your website, the menu's way too small, so people are not going to be able to read it if they're on desktop. Like I said, we'll look at this one on mobile as well. You've got no learn more buttons, so people can click through to another page. So it's just a massive piece of imagery, which maybe some people might just go straight off to it. So your strip shouldn't be that big, because like I said, you haven't got much time to capture people's attention. So I recommend you downsize that and make it smaller, and it makes your website speed a lot slower. So straight away, you've got your vision. Now I like when you put your vision onto your website. It just definitely helps in terms of buying trust with people. You've got your bamboo collection as well. I don't like this theme. This theme I hate to bits. Now this looks like a typical dropshipping store, the way it's laid out. Just this in general, the collection, how it looks, I hate it. It just looks like a typical dropshipping store. Consumers are more, pardon me, a lot more smarter now, and they know what a dropshipping store looks like. And that's why I always say to people, if you've got the money, go out there and pay for a premium theme. And I can't emphasize this enough, and I'll show you guys later when I review a general store what I mean in terms of professionalism. Now, you got to remember, a lot of people are saying dropshipping saturated, dropshipping's not easy anymore. Now, 95% of people that are doing dropshipping, or 90% of them, they're all amateurs, and they're just testing dropshipping out to see if they can make money. Now, what they do is they use themes like this and they fail. Now, if you want to if you just want to kind of like differentiate yourself from the crowd, then all you need to do, or if you want to change yourself from the 90% that are failing, upgrade your theme. You won't look like a dropshipping store. People won't judge you as much. So trust me, if you want to get ahead of the majority, get yourself a premium theme. They're as cheap as $20, so there's no excuse really. That's the same as paying for one Facebook ad a day, if maybe even less. But like I said, another thing is you're in the bamboo niche, which means you're restricted now to bamboo products. Now, in my opinion, bamboo products at the moment are a little bit dead. If you go on Google Trends and you do bamboo products as the search term, bamboo products at the moment just not great. They're a little bit slow, so maybe you might want to change your niche around, just because it's not a crazy niche anymore. It once was, it's not anymore. But I definitely do some research on Google Trends and Statista to see how the actual market's going to go. Because if there's no market attention in there, then don't do it. You're just going to be wasting time and money on ads. But yeah, with this theme again, it's just basically upgrading the theme to make it look a lot more professional, because at the moment it just looks a little bit poor, and it just looks like your typical dropshipping store. Like I said, I like the way you got the video here. That's always good. Let's have a look at one of your product pages. So let me have a look at this. Again, it just looks a little bit messy. It just doesn't look very clean and clear. Everything's everywhere again. So again, you just want to make sure that your theme looks clean. It just looks like it's all plotted everywhere. Don't recommend it. Also, guys, I just want to say, I didn't mention this on the other websites, always add an auto currency converter on your website. So when somebody comes to your website, like I'm from the UK, most people use USD as the main currency. So I'm coming from the UK, so then it's converted to the UK pounds for me. Now, converting people's currencies for them is so much better. It helps them having to go on Google and do it for themselves. It's just more convenient for the customer. Now, I use something called Best Currency Converter, and that's one that I recommend personally. And again, it will automatically change the currency for the customer. Again, you've got no quantity breaks, you've got no upsells, you've got no videos, you've got some boring description. And you've just got some boring images, and like I said, it just looks like a messy website. So you want to get that cleaned up. In my opinion, I'm not even going to look at this on mobile, because if it looks messy on desktop, it's going to look messy on mobile as well. So there's no point me looking at this one on mobile. But I will look at your website speed, and your website speed is 4 seconds. So well done to you. You've literally just hit the criteria, 4 and 2 seconds, 2 and 4 seconds. You still maybe want to watch the video I made, because maybe you can watch that video, do some of the things that I mentioned, and get it down to 3 seconds. So definitely recommend you go and watch that video. Now, the fourth store on today's list is this store here. It's called Yearly Trends. Now let's take a look at Yearly Trends and see what we've got here. Now, I'm guessing this is a general store, so let's test it out. Before we test it out, we're going to put this through the website speed checker, just to see how it's performing. So let me get this done for you. Okay, cool. Let's analyze that in the background. So straight away, I like the name. Yearly Trends is a great name. Yearly Trends is a very, very good name, very catchy. It tells people that you're doing the trends of the year, so it's very self-explanatory as well. You got the domain name for it, and you've got a good logo. I really like the logo. It's a phone with a store, like it's trying to make a phone look like a store with a search. So it's really, really good. The branding's on point for this store, so definitely hats off to you. But again, the strip's way too big. Again, I like the way you got the shop now though, just in case people want to click through. It's always good, click-through rate. And you've got the menu here. Now, I don't recommend menus like this. I recommend menus actually on the website on desktop where you can see it. This is what we call a mobile menu. I prefer actual desktop menus where it actually displays them, like home, shop now, what now. Home, shop now, and whatever the other ones are. I just did a little bit of a rap there, so if anybody wanted to hear me rap, I just did a little bit of a rap. But yeah, it doesn't look great, guys. Again, the slideshow slows your site down, so your site might be very slow because of this. And again, the strip's huge, so I don't recommend it. Scrolling down again, like I said on the previous one, general stores are I don't recommend general stores in general, just because they're just so hard to keep customers' attention. Because if you're marketing a product on Facebook ads, let's say for these headphones, and people go to your ad, watch it, happy with your ad. Now, before I move on to explaining this, I use something called live tracking on my website, and it tells me what my what my visitors' behavior is. So they go from the product page to the home page to this page, then back to the product page. Now, if you've got a general store, they're going to go from your product page to your home page and then see all of this. So the product that you've advertised for, they've completely forgot about it because you've got all of these other products on here. So their attention span's already gone. The money you've paid for to get them interested in this product has gone. And that's what I've noticed with the live tracking. So that's why I don't recommend them. But I've got a student that's doing a general store and he's doing all right with it. And he's got the theme that I recommended to him. No, I didn't recommend this theme to him. He went out there and got it, but it's from the site that I recommended getting themes from, which I'll leave in the link in the description below. And this is his general store. And let me show you how the difference in terms of quality it looks. Now, this is a general store. Don't recommend them, but look how nice and clean this one looks. It looks like a proper store. It doesn't look like your typical dropshipping general store. It actually looks like a proper genuine store. If we compare it to this one here, you can see there's a massive difference straight away. So if you are going to do a general store, guys, and like I said, I don't recommend them, but if you want to do them, upgrade your theme. Like I said, look at the quality of this in comparison with this theme here. And like I said, that theme I think was only like $40, which is like 2 days of running ads. So it's definitely worth it, especially when you get a higher click-through rate. So let's have a look at one of your product pages. So again, it's not too bad. It's a lot more cleaner than the other one. You've got your countdown timer here. Countdown timers can work, guys. It's best to split test them. In my opinion, I don't like the way it's gone from in the middle, then from the left hand side. Just keep it all one side. So if you wanted to do text left side, do it left side. If you wanted to do it in the middle, do it all in the middle. Just looks hard to read, hard to scan again. It's really hard. This text is way too small. I don't know why you've got from red to white. It can confuse people. The images here don't work, so you're going to want to fix that. It just looks plain. It just doesn't look amazing. And again, I don't like websites that scroll down so far. So you can see how we scroll down so far and there's just blank on the left hand side. With the websites that I do, I always do left hand side websites where what happens is you see the product like this, you read the description, but the website scrolls across instead of scrolling down. That way there's not loads of blank white canvas here, which can sometimes look really bad. Obviously on mobile that won't be the case. So if we look at this website on mobile, so you can see on mobile it's not as bad. It does scroll down, but you can see the images don't work here. But on desktop, again, you're going to get about 20 to 30% of people coming on desktop. It doesn't look great. Look how big the strip looks, the home strip looks on here. That's too big, man. That's way too big. Way too big. And again, it doesn't look amazing on here. And again, if we compare that to one of my other people that I know and I've taught in the past, their website in mobile version, you can see again the difference straight away in terms of quality. Just looks a lot better and cleaner. I don't think that's loaded up properly, but either way, you get my point. So that's what I recommend straight away. Now, I'm not going to go super in depth on your website if the layout's already wrong. If your layout's completely out of the question, then there's no point in me even telling you anything else. Because at the end of the day, if your website's completely not laid out correctly, then your fundamentals are completely wrong. So there's no point in me teaching the advanced parts if your fundamentals are wrong. So go and clean the layout out, and then come back and watch the rest of this video or previous parts of this video and add to it. But the main part of the website is just making sure the layout looks good, everything syncs up properly. And unfortunately with this website, there's just a lot of errors. You've got a great name, Yearly Trends, you've got a great logo, great domain name. Just unfortunately, the store just doesn't meet the layout requirements, in my opinion. If we look at your website speed, you can see here it's 4.2 seconds, which isn't too bad. I thought it would be a lot worse. Again, if you just decrease the strip size, you would probably get between 3 and 4 seconds by just doing that. So recommend you guys do that first, whoever owns a store. Now let's move on to the last store of today's video. So guys, this is the last website on today's store reviews. It's called Prepared Trips. Now I really do like this this actual name. It sounds really good, very good brand name. The logo's okay. I think the logo could be a little bit better. I quite like the prepared and the suitcase and the trip, but I don't think I like the color. I don't like the colors you've chosen, in my opinion. I think they're quite odd. But it's down to you. That's my personal opinion. So the branding already is very good. The domain name is Prepared Trip, not Trips. Now it matches, which is the key. So sorry, I got your brand name wrong. It's Prepared Trip. So it matches the domain name, which is also very important. You've got your .com extension. You haven't got your favicon. Your favicons missing. So if you want to use a favicon, maybe you just use a suitcase as the favicon. You won't be able to use the whole of this. If you've got a massive brand logo like this, it won't work as a favicon. Just use the icon in your logo as the favicon, which would be the suitcase. But definitely have a favicon if you're doing a niche store as well. Very important. You've got your free shipping bar at the top, which is fine. Again, I don't know what it is with people, but your strip is way too big. Again, you want to decrease that strip size. Very important, especially for on-page time. I've mentioned this already. Your titles are fine. They look clean and clear on this one. Sometimes when people do it this way, which is the way I recommend, they've got a bad color of a background. I like the way you've darkened the actual image here. Because you've darkened the image, the menu bar actually, the menu part of the website, this part here, will stand out a lot more. You got your shop now button. Now with shop now buttons and learn more now buttons, I like it when you hover over it and it changes. It's just a little bit more responsive, and it just helps customers when it comes to enjoying your website. You've got your about us, which is very small. I think who are we? So I think it goes together. I think these two do, so that's okay. Ready to go. Choose your travel accessories for your next trip. So you've got all your travel products on here. Which is cool. The only thing I don't like about this theme or how you've done it is the products just look so messy and so all over the place, and it can sometimes overwhelm visitors, especially when this is happening. It just overwhelms people. Oh, which one should I click? I don't know which one to do first, so it's overwhelming, and then the more people that get overwhelmed when they visit your website, the less conversions you're going to get. So maybe make this look a little bit more cleaner, so it's actually laid out down like that instead of being all over the place. Don't think it looks the best. Again, it's just really messy. I don't like the way this wasn't too bad, so far. And I know it's not a premium theme. It wasn't too bad till we got to here. Now it's just looking really rough. And you need to get that fixed. It just doesn't look the best in my opinion. Yeah, it just doesn't look great there. See, this doesn't look too bad here, and I like the way you've got your images are like the one that I mentioned in the first store that I reviewed, in terms of making the images or the categories correlate with the actual titles, which is what you've done here. Maybe darken the images like I mentioned before on the other store that I reviewed, so like that, so it looks like that but without hovered. Don't do it just on a hover. Do it also when it's been without people hovering on it. You've got your newsletter, which is also good. You've got all your pages, which is fine. So this isn't looking too bad here. You've got your cookies as well, which isn't too bad. The biggest issue I'd say with your store is just this messy product layout. It just looks really messy. Let's have a look at your product page. That's probably one of the next important things. Okay, so this isn't too bad. This isn't too bad, to be fair. These trust badges, get rid of them, don't need them. Use the trust badges that I talked about, which was easy returns, free shipping, money back guaranteed. Those kind of trust badges are better than these. People don't need to know you accept these payment these payment options, because at the end of the day, if you're doing an e-commerce business, people already know that you should be offering these payments anyway, so you don't need them. The descriptions are okay. You've got this. Okay, basically your descriptions are really bad because you haven't got anything on here that's important about the product. So straight away, it's a bit of a mess already, because you've got this product and you're not even describing it to people. You're just giving them the dimensions of the product. You're not even telling them what it is, how it can help them, what it does. So what I recommend you go and do straight away is go and watch that video I mentioned about product descriptions I made. That video, I literally give you the product description formula, and trust me, it's the best way of product descriptions, and they're the ones that convert the best. This is just a real bad product description. Just giving people dimensions is horrific. I like the way you got a guarantee. Guarantees are always good. I've always mentioned give people a guarantee. Keep that, but really improve on this. Giving people just the dimensions of the product is just really bad, to be fair. You've got these trust badges, which is the ones that I recommended. So if you've got those are more important than these ones, so maybe switch them around, or just get rid of that one in general and just move that one up top. And then maybe add some reviews. So actually use Luke's reviews and import the reviews if you can, to make it look a little bit more professional and a little bit more trustworthy. But apart from that, nothing too crazy. You haven't got any upsells on here, like quantity breaks or any form of upsell, which is what I recommend. I keep saying it to people. You haven't got a currency converter that automatically changes the currency either, which is what I definitely recommend you need to do. So let's check this site out in desktop. Hopefully it looks a little bit better, especially where the products are at the bottom of this page. So let's have a look. Oh, holy moly. So this is a big issue for you. The strip for the mobile version is a massive issue. So this is even worse than the desktop. This just looks really bad. Need to fix that. This doesn't look too bad now. The product bit doesn't look too bad now because it's singled out. But I think the product's gone for too long. I don't like it when you go on a website and it's just product after product after product, especially on the home page. On the home page, it should never be like this. It should have maybe one or two and that's it, and then give people the options to go to which category that you're offering. but don't offer loads of different products on the homepage. Worst thing you can do. You're going to get lots of bounce rate, but apart from that, nothing too crazy. Definitely need to work on some of those things that I just mentioned. Now let's take a look at your website speed. Your website speed 7.3 seconds, so it's not as bad as some of the others, but it's definitely not great. You want it between 2 and 4 seconds, like I mentioned. So definitely go and watch that video I made about website speed increments in terms of getting it down to 2 and 4 seconds. Now that is it for today's video. I've just reviewed those 5 stores. So if you guys want me to do this again, but do some other people's stores, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you on the next video.